Good morning, students. From today, we'll be starting the next chapter, which is Habitats of Organisms. Living things are found almost everywhere on Earth. They are present on the land, in water, in the air, in the soil, under the stones and the logs, in the grasses, on trees, in our homes, and also inside us. So, the place or the surrounding where an organism lives is called as an habitat. A habitat provides food, water, air, shelter, and a place for breeding to the organism. A habitat provides everything to the organism which they need to live. Different types of organisms live in different habitats. So, what is an environment? Everything that is found in the surroundings of living things is known as environment. All living things are affected by the living and non-living things which is present around them. An environment consists of two important components, which is the biotic component and the abiotic component. The biotic component is also called as the living component, and the abiotic component is also called as the non-living component. The environment varies in different places. All the non-living things, including soil, water and air, as well as climatic factors such as temperature, rainfall, humidity and wind speed, are the abiotic components. These abiotic components form the physical environment, whereas all living things, which includes plants, animals and microbes, are the biotic components. The biotic component makes up the biological environment. Now we shall study about the biotic component. Living organisms that make up the biotic component are dependent on each other for their food. They are always found to exist close to regions where their food is available. For example, bees are found in regions where there are many flowers to collect the nectar, whereas animals that eat only plants lives in places where plenty of plants grow. The biotic components are classified into producers, consumers and decomposers, of which the consumers are further classified into primary consumer, secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Now we shall study about producers. Producers are organisms that make their own food. Hence, they are called as autotrophs. They convert the energy in sunlight into food by the process of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis is aided by chlorophyll, which helps the producers to trap the energy in sunlight. The consumers and decomposers get their food from the producers, as you can see in this picture. The next are the consumers. Consumers are organisms that get their food from other organisms. Hence, they are called as heterotrophs, as they cannot prepare their own food and must get it from other organisms. All animals are consumers and they are dependent on plants or on other animals for their food. The consumers are either herbivores, carnivores or omnivores. Herbivores are otherwise called as the primary consumers. They are the animals that eat only plants. They get their food directly from the plants. Examples of herbivores are cow, rabbit, giraffe, etc. The next category of consumers are carnivores. Carnivores are also called as secondary consumers, and they are animals that eat only other animals. They are flesh-eating animals. They get their food indirectly from plants. Examples of carnivores are lion, tiger, wolf, etc. And the third category of consumers are omnivores. These are animals that eat both plants and animals. Examples of omnivores are crow and human. Whereas animals that consume dead bodies of other animals are called as scavengers. Example of scavengers are vulture and crow. The last category of organisms under biotic components are decomposers. Decomposers are organisms such as bacteria and fungi that eventually convert all organic matter into carbon dioxide and nutrients. They release raw nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus and magnesium in a form which is usable by the producers. In an environment, the nutrients that are absorbed from the soil by the plants are passed on to all the consumers. Decomposers thus help in recycling these nutrients back to the soil. This process resupplies the nutrients to the environment. In turn, this allows the greater primary production, as you can see in this picture. Now, we shall study about the abiotic component. Abiotic components are the physical and the chemical factors that act on the living organism at any part of their life. Light, air, soil, nutrients, etc. forms the abiotic components of an environment. The abiotic factor varies with the environment. For example, in an aquatic environment, the abiotic factors may include pH of the water, sunlight, turbidity, water depth, salinity, available nutrients, and dissolved oxygen. Whereas, in a terrestrial environment, the abiotic factors may include soil, soil type, temperature, rain, altitude, wind, nutrients, sunlight, etc. So likewise, the abiotic factor tends to vary with the type of environment. So in this video, we have studied about the habitat, the environment, and the two basic components of the environment and the factors that are included in the biotic and the abiotic components. Thank you, students.